Hello, and welcome to Doris's Golf Club. I'm Doris. I'm so glad that you all joined me today. I have a lot of updates for you today and a lot of exciting information. So let's just jump right into it. To start, I did want to update you on the ant rule that we discussed last time regarding Jeeno Thitikul's fire ant versus regular ant situation. So if you didn't join me in the last podcast, which was the first official podcast of Doris's Golf Club, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to that episode because it was a really fun recap of the Evian Championship and the fantastic playoff. It was a 2-hole playoff between Jeeno Thitikul and Grace Kim, and Grace Kim did end up winning the Evian Championship. And it was just a fantastic, fantastic tournament and a wonderful, wonderful end. Very exciting. But one of the things on the very last playoff hole, the second of the 2 playoff holes, when Jeeno was in the rough, just outside of the green. So I think I told you all how the camera zoomed in and showed that her ball was actually covered in ants. Ants were crawling all over her ball. And so then the commentators were letting us all know that a rules official was coming out to look at the ball. And evidently at that time, the rules official had made a decision that the ants were not fire ants, were not stinging ants, were not fire ants. And so they told Jeeno that she didn't get any relief from where her ball was. So she didn't get to move the ball. She had to play it where it was. So I don't know, of course, if that would have impacted the outcome or not. No one knows that, but it was really interesting. And I thought it was fascinating that these rules officials, have to make these determinations in real time and have to decide whether these are fire ants, stinging ants, what exactly that means. I wasn't sure. And so I really wanted to look into what the rule actually says and bring some more information to you all. And so I have found a rule. So just so you know, I'm going to need to do a deeper dive at some point about all of the different rules organizations, because my understanding is that some tournaments do play under some different rules of golf. But I will tell you, at least in the United States, well, even that, I'm not sure. I was about to say, at least in the United States Golf Association is the organization under whose rules everyone plays. But I don't even know that that's quite accurate. But it is I would say, the main organization where the rules of golf are found. And so anyone can go on the USGA.org website and you can find rules of golf. So I'm going to be doing more learning about the rules in general, and I can't wait because there are some basic rules of golf that I just need to learn. But then there are also, of course, some pretty obscure rules of golf. But it's just really fascinating because the rules officials need to have a pretty good handle on all of these different rules and be ready to make calls in real time. I did just look under the USGA's rules of golf, and I found under 16.2, Rule 16.2, dangerous animal condition. That is the rule, apparently, that that applies to this situation. So what this rule says is, okay, so 16.2, A, when relief is allowed. So a, quote, dangerous animal condition exists when a dangerous animal, and I'm saying it like this because animal is italicized here, and if you hover over it with your mouse, it defines the word animal, and I'll define that in just a second. So let me go back. A dangerous animal condition exists when a dangerous animal, parentheses, such as venomous snakes, stinging bees, alligators, fire ants, or bears near a ball could cause serious physical injury to the player if they had to play the ball as it lies. And so if that happens, or if that situation exists, then a player may take relief under Rule 16.2b from interference by a dangerous animal condition, no matter where their ball is on the course. And I thought this was also hilarious. This rule does not apply to other situations on the course that could cause physical harm, parentheses, such as a cactus, period. Okay. So there's a lot here. When you hover your mouse over the word animal, then this definition pops up and it says animal, any living member of the animal kingdom, parentheses, other than humans, including mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates, parentheses, such as worms, insects, spiders, and crustaceans. Okay, so this is just all really hilarious to me, thinking of all of these situations that might arise. I mean, can you imagine? First of all, the animals that they actually do put in here in their list without even hovering over the more explicit or more detailed definition of animal, but the animals that they actually just list here, clearly they're listing them because they come up often enough in tournaments and on golf courses that these need to be explicitly stated. So venomous snakes, stinging bees, alligators, fire ants, or bears. Anyway, I mean, I was just getting such a kick out of this. I just can't imagine. Clearly, I have not been out golfing enough. And I swear, if I ever am on a course where there's a bear, especially near my ball, or in a situation where I have to take relief because a bear is so close to my ball that I can't be golfing, I don't think I'm actually going to be trying to take relief and just hitting the ball from another spot on the fairway. I think if a bear is that close, I'll probably, I don't know, be running like crazy or saying, hey, bear, very loudly or doing something. I think I'll be a little bit more worried about other things other than making sure that I get relief for my golf ball. Anyway, I thought that this was a really interesting rule to find and get to read what it actually says and how it lays it out. So the fact that it does explicitly say fire ants is interesting. And then the fact that it spells out that it's actually saying here that the dangerous animal condition is when that dangerous animal, like a fire ant, is near a ball and could cause serious physical injury to the player. So I think that it probably, especially with ants, I mean, I think it's pretty clear if the ants are just crawling over the ball and if Jeeno was able to stand, far enough away and simply hit the ball. And, even if they were, I mean, a lot of ants are stinging ants, but they're not fire ants. So even if she got stung, I assume that it's reasonable that they did not think that it would cause a serious physical injury to Jeeno Thitikul with those ants crawling all over her ball there. And then, of course, then it goes down and describes exactly what kind of relief you do get and where you can drop your ball and what happens if your ball is inside the penalty area, outside the penalty area, all of the various things. But anyway, I think that the fun part was just reading that description of exactly what an animal is and what the dangerous animal condition is. So there you go. I thought that was a great update. And the next thing that I did want to update everyone on was last podcast I had talked about Lottie Woad, our young English woman who is, I think she just finished her junior year at Florida State, and she had just earned her 20th leap point, which is the, and I keep saying that I'm going to look it up, and I haven't. I've seen it so many times. So right now I'm going to look this up. Leap LPGA. Let's see. This is the LPGA Elite Amateur Pathway. Of course, that is what LEAP stands for. All right, so now we know LPGA Elite Amateur Pathway. So Lottie had earned her 20th leap point, and so when she earned that 20th point, she did then get granted full LPGA membership, professional membership to the LPGA. So she earned her full card. And her decision last week, she had said early last week that she was going to take the week and decide if she was going to defer becoming a professional or if she was going to go ahead and become a professional right away. And shortly thereafter, she had gone ahead and announced, I think it was on Instagram, she announced that she was going to go ahead and join the LPGA professionally right away, which is very exciting. So what this means is that the rest of this year, the rest of the tournaments for 2025, and then all of 2026, Lottie has her full card for the LPGA. It'll be interesting to see how she's ranked because I believe because she is just starting as a professional, she hasn't earned any like CME points for the race to the CME Championship, which is at the end of this year, end of November. And I don't think she has been able to earn any of those points as an amateur in any of the tournaments she's been in. So she's basically starting fresh, even though she's been participating in LPGA tournaments. She'll also be able to obviously earn money with these wins that she's had. Like she won I think was it the Irish Open? She won a tournament a couple weeks ago. It was on the Ladies European Tour, and she actually won that tournament. So these tournaments that she's winning or that she's, scoring very, very well in, placing, this last one was she was tied for third. So all of these tournaments, she will actually then be able to be paid because she'll be a professional and then start earning points toward the CME championship. And then I assume that she will then be able to be in, getting all the points for the Rolex rankings and all of the various rankings that are given when someone turns professional. So it's really exciting. I can't wait to see how she does. It's really fun to have a new English woman to be rooting for. And I really like Lottie. Watching her, she is very serious, intense, but she looks so young. I mean, I know she's, I think, early 20s, which isn't even the youngest that a lot of people start playing, but she's fun to watch. It will be very fun to see what she does then this weekend in the Scottish Open, the Women's Scottish Open, and then next weekend in our final major of the year, which is the AIG Women's Open. Really, really exciting to see what she does in both of those. All right. So before I turn over to talking about the Scottish Open, I do just want to talk about two shows that I think everyone should be watching because I know everyone is very interested in my television show recommendations. I'm not going to recommend Devil's Plan again. I know that can be a little bit too time consuming for some people and require a lot of attention because with the subtitles, the Korean subtitles, and with the very long explanations of every game, it can be kind of drawn out and intense. Although, if you haven't watched, I really do recommend Devil's Plan. There are 2 seasons on Netflix. But another show I highly recommend that was a ton of fun. It's only 6 episodes. It's basically broken up into 2 different parts. So the first 3 episodes are kind of one adventure, and then the second 3 episodes are another kind of adventure. And it is also on Netflix. It's called Agents of Mystery. And yes, it's a Korean show. It's really good. It's very funny. It's very suspenseful. It's all of the things, and it's a lot faster to watch. I think all the episodes were actually around an hour or under, which is often unusual for Korean shows as the shows go on. In any series that my husband and I are watching, we'll get to a show and we're like going through, like we're watching this one currently called Flower of Evil. Oh my goodness, it is so good. It is so good and so intense. But my goodness, like every episode that we go to, like the next one will be like an hour and 16 minutes. Then the next one's like an hour and 20 minutes. And then, they just keep getting longer and longer. So even though there are only 16 episodes total in the entire show, and that's it. They just keep growing and growing. And so it's like you have to pace yourself. If you want any sleep, you have to be very disciplined and just force yourself to turn off the TV because otherwise you will be up all night watching these shows. But yeah, that is, oh my goodness, that's another one. I won't get into it now, but it's incredibly good. We're watching it on Viki. Okay, back to Agents of Mystery. Imagine basically it's 6 different Korean stars. I think maybe a mix of actors and singers and comedians. I'm not sure. I'm sure they're very popular in Korea, but I didn't recognize any of them. But they are 3 men, 3 women, and they come in and they are told that they are going to have to basically solve a mystery. So imagine like the most elaborate escape room kind of fun mystery thing that is interactive with these people. And they are only given a few clues and then they enter this space and basically together have to figure everything out. It's really fun. Really, really fun. So, like I said, they are real people and they're just kind of going through this. So it's, it's them reacting to all of this in real time and trying to solve this mystery and accomplish this goal that they've been assigned. But it's very interactive. There's clearly other actors involved and things going on that, they have to try to figure out. So really suspenseful, but really fun. Anyway, highly recommend it. Agents of Mystery on Netflix. It's very fast to get through. Highly recommend it. The other show, okay, if you have never watched Big Brother, you're missing out. It's a show that I came to very late. I know it's been on for years, and there was one. Oh, I know. So it was when my husband and I moved. We were moving into, I think, our very first house, and we didn't have internet set up yet. So didn't have, cable, internet, any streaming, anything. And so we were in the process of moving everything in, kind of sitting on the floor, eating takeout. And so we turned on network television and Big Brother was on and we had never seen the show and we were like, what is this? Like, it's so weird. Like these adults, it's basically like adults going through a Nickelodeon show. Anyway, it was so hilarious. We're like, this is the stupidest thing we've ever seen. And yet we are completely hooked. Then we kept watching that season. I can't even remember what season it was, but it was so much fun. And then I kind of forgot about it because then we get internet, we get all of our streaming services, we watch our shows. But then later, I can't remember, maybe during COVID, I went back and I had looked up what the best seasons of Big Brother were. And so went back and watched several. And my goodness, the casting is so spectacular because even Survivor doesn't do this well, I think, at finding the selection of people, the variety of people that they put together in this house. And it is a lot of fun to see how these people interact. So if you don't know, it is 3 full months of 16, and maybe 17 people who are put into this quote unquote house. I've learned it's basically just a studio set there in LA, but it is a very enclosed, locked space. They are not allowed to have any contact with the outside world other than once a week they do vote someone out. And so that vote is done live with Julie Chen Moonves. And that is the only interaction they have with the outside world is when they talk with Julie. And it is just fascinating. So each week they do a competition, which is always a hilarious these competitions are so funny. The situations that they put these grown adults in, really, really funny. So funny to watch people do these things. Like this last one, they were like, I don't know, they had done this like sewer environment and all these people had to be down there in the pitch black walking around in water, in packing peanuts, in all this, just bumping into everything, just looking for these certain shapes anyway, it was so funny. But then just all of the personal relationships, the different alliances that they get into. I swear, I feel like they just want to make alliances to be able to name them. That has become a huge thing, is what you're going to name your alliance. It's a really great show. It is funny. It is light. You can root for people. You can root against people. I don't know if you root against people anyway, but you can love to hate people. It's just a riot. Highly, highly recommend Big Brother. I watch it on Paramount Plus, so you don't have to watch it on CBS Live. They also have live, like 24/7 camera feeds that you can watch. So really, really Big Brother fans will watch that and have even more information, but that's just a bridge too far for me. Anywho, okay, so next, I'll go ahead and talk about this upcoming tournament, which is the Scottish Open. And I want to just give kind of a history of the tournament, talk about the course a little bit, the participant list or the entrance list, and just give you some information about that. Okay, let's talk about the Women's Scottish Open. This tournament is a co-sanctioned event, similar to how the Evian Championship is a co-sanctioned event. And so this tournament as well is a co-sanctioned event between the LET, which is the Ladies European Tour, and the LPGA. And it had been played first, I think, in 1986 on the LET, the Ladies European Tour. And so they had been playing this tournament in Scotland since then. And then it became a regular fixture for them in 2010. In 2017, it then became a co-sanctioned event with the LPGA Tour. And has been played in late July, the week prior to the Women's British Open. And at some point, I guess, in here, from 2007 to 2016, it had been a 54-hole event. And then it returned to being a 72-hole event, it looks like, in 2017. So this tournament, it is played at the Dundonald Links in Scotland. And I believe it is Ayrshire, Scotland, which basically, looking on the map, it looks like it's southwest of Glasgow, down along the coast, the Firth of Clyde, and the golf course is right there on the water. It does look really beautiful, overlooking the Firth there, and it looks, again, like proper links course, which is really fun. Last year, Lauren Coughlin from the US, she won the Scottish Open. And Lauren Coughlin, she had been, I think, very close to giving up on golf, maybe considering not making it, her full-time career. And then she just really had this amazing couple of years where she just started placing really high in tournaments. She won several tournaments. And so this was one of those tournaments that she won. And so last year, the Scottish Open, she did win with a score of 15 under. Unfortunately, this tournament has a really low purse. It is only $2 million. $2 million is the total purse. So her winnings for winning the entire thing, she won $300,000. That's really, really low. Really, really low. I hope that this tournament, especially being a co-sanctioned event, I feel like with both the LET and the LPGA involved, I feel like this is unacceptable. You all know how I feel about this, but I mean, this is incredibly low. Anyway, so Lauren Coughlin won last year. The year before, in 2023, Celine Boutier won. Then the year before, and she also had a score of 15 under. The year before that, in 2022, Ayaka Furway won, and she had a score of 21 under. And in 2021, Ryan O'Toole from the US won. She had a score of 17 under. And I've seen Ryan O'Toole in several tournaments, and I've seen her at least as a participant in the entrance list. I don't know that I've actually seen her when I've gone to the Chevron Championship or to the U.S. Women's Open there at Erin Hills. I don't remember seeing her, but I know she was in that documentary on YouTube. The is it Drive On? I think it was called Drive On. I remember seeing her there. And so definitely check out that documentary if you're interested. But good to see that she had won this tournament back in 2021. Anyway, so it looks like the scores are going to be really low, very low scoring golf course. That will be interesting to watch. Like I said, looking at just pictures of the golf course on their website, they look beautiful. So I recommend going there to their website and checking it out. And let's see what else I can find. So they are going to have a full field of players, so 156 players. So that is a large, or I guess it's pretty normal, but it's a it's not a small tournament. Again, the purse needs to be more than 2 million. This is just, this isn't enough. Anyway, so 156 players. And so we know Lottie Woad will be there. And I think a lot of the women who were at the Evian Championship and then will be in the British Open, the AIG Women's Open next weekend. I think a lot of them will be playing, so that will be exciting. Then I did see, this is going to be the debut of another player who just turned professional, and it's not Lottie Woad. I mean, it is her, but it's also another one. And so I think she's on the Ladies European Tour where she is just turning professional. And so this will be her professional debut. And her name is Hannah Darling, and she is Scottish. So that's going to be really nice that her professional debut is going to be in her home country there. And that will be, I think, really fun for her to be able to have her professional debut there. Evidently, she had quite the career as an amateur at some point, and maybe currently she's ranked 20th in the amateur rankings. And I think she had ranked as high as maybe 11th in the amateur rankings. So she's really been making a name for herself. But Hannah Darling, I mean, what a great name, Hannah Darling. So this will be her professional debut at the Scottish Open, which will be fun to watch as well. So I hope she does really well. Okay, what else? Let me see. I was also going to say the way to watch this one, unfortunately, it looks like it is only going to be on Golf Channel, or then there was something about NBC Digital, which I don't even know what that means. Like, is that NBC Sports app? I don't know. What is it? It's so annoying. Anyway, so Thursday and Friday coverage will start at 4:30 a.m. Because that should be live, 4:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on Golf Channel, and then they'll have an encore from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And then Friday, it's the same, 4:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and then 2 to 3:30 p.m. on Golf Channel. Saturday and Sunday, it looks like this is where they add in the NBC Digital. Again, I don't know what that is. And usually if it's Peacock, they say Peacock. So I don't think that that's what that means. I don't know. I don't know. It is hard to keep track. And so I try ESPN and I try Peacock and I try Golf Channel and I try whatever this NBC Sports app is. And sometimes things are on Paramount Plus, and it's just, it's pretty obnoxious. But Golf Channel, it looks like, is going to be our way to watch. Saturday morning starts at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then again, an encore at 7 to 10 p.m. And Sunday is 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And the afternoon is 3 to 6 p.m. Looks like an encore. So there you go. All right. And let me see. I was going to try to find a full participant list. Okay. I'm basically back here to the LPGA website. under tee times for this tournament, that's where it looks like it has the full participant list. This seems like it's an awfully hard way to find the participant list. So looking through here, there are some names I don't recognize, but then a lot that I do. We have Leona McGuire, Aki EY, Jenny Bay, Alim Kim, Arya Jutanagarn, Hejin Choi, it looks like, Minji Lee, Rio Takeda, Megan Kang. Oh, we've got Maya Stark. Oh, and then here's Hannah Darling, Nelly Korda, of course. Oh, this is going to be a good group. Nelly Korda, Lottie Woad, and Charlie Hull are playing together. That will definitely be a good group. Yelimi No, Inji Chan. So many great people. Gabby Ruffles, Allison Corpus. I know I'm just naming names here. Lucy Lee. Lucy Lee, I don't know that I've talked about this, but she is from the US and she just recently graduated from Penn. And it's interesting because I, hearing the news about it, we have a lot of players, or I mean, it's not uncommon, I should say, for some of the young players to still be in college and full professionals on the LPGA tour. But we usually know about it and hear about it, and we're hearing about, maybe their last year and how things are going. And I don't know why, but when I was hearing about Lucy Lee graduating from Penn, evidently, I don't know how, but basically the golf world didn't really seem to know that she was attending Penn and was still in college. And so she had posted something on Instagram when she graduated and was really proud of graduating. Had, I think, a pretty difficult major, and it kind of took people by surprise. And so I thought that was very interesting. I mean, I don't know, but good for her. And anyway, so she's here in the Scottish Open. Just saw her and thought of that. Of course, Chisato Iwai, not playing with her sister. I wonder if they ever do get paired together. That would be really fun. But Chisato is paired there with Sarah Schmelzel. So I don't know if they would be showing them much on TV, but that would be a fun group. Oh, and then of course here we have a good group. We have Yaka Furway, Lauren Coughlin, and then Esther Henselite. So Esther, I had seen play quite a bit at the U.S. Women's Open, and she was pretty fun to watch. And then I think she had placed, I can't remember if she placed second at the Black Desert Championship, but I know that she was up there. And it was very fun to be watching her playing there in Black Desert. And I think Mel Reed had been interviewing her on the course. And I think they've known each other for years as when Mel was playing golf. And so it was fun for them to be having their walk and talk. And Esther, I think, is from Germany. So anyway, she's a fun player to watch. So that'll be a good group. Anyway, Grace Kim here. Oh, I mean, she's got to be just really excited coming off of that win, that incredible win there at Evian. So anyway, lots and lots of really good players here. Austin Kim. Oh, so many. Ina Yoon. Oh, so many to root for. Oh man, I don't know how I will choose as usual. I don't know who I'm going to root for, but I will say whoever wins this tournament, if they are not already a participant, if they're not already one of the entrants in for the AIG Women's Open, I believe they will have earned a spot in the Women's Open the following weekend. So that will be exciting. It'll be exciting to see who wins this one because it could mean, their participation in the major tournament the following weekend again, the AIG Women's Open. They're in Wales, which I will be attending. So it will be fun to see who wins the Scottish Open, see if that impacts the entrant list at all for the AIG Women's Open. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm excited to watch this tournament. Having a week off of women's golf was, I don't know. I'm kind of used to watching women's golf each weekend, and I really enjoy it. Although I have to say, it was a lot of fun to watch the Open. I remember last year, my husband and I were watching, and oh my goodness. So it was played at Royal Troon in Scotland, and it was a good tournament last year. Xander Schauffele had won last year, and I had kind of forgotten that he had won because what I remember is that last year it had just been raining and most days and was miserable, and the wind. And I think it was Billy Horschel and Justin Rose, two quote unquote older guys. I don't know that they're even my age, but they're older players. But they had been playing incredibly well. And it was so much fun to watch them. I mean, it was like pouring down rain. And they kept, every time they came out to hit the ball, they would turn their hats around backwards because if they were, especially when they were putting, because if they had their hats with the brims, facing the normal way, the water would drip off the brim. So they would come out and turn their hats around, and they just looked really cool. And it was really fun to watch them both playing so incredibly well. And that's kind of what I remember about the tournament. I barely remember that Xander Schauffele won. Anyway, this year, it was pretty fun again. The weather was not nearly as bad. There were some times when it did rain really hard. The tournament this year was in Ireland. It was a beautiful course. And oh man, I wish I could have gone. But I was trying to actually get my family to go. Last year, when my husband and I were watching, we were like, well, we want to go to the Open. And I think I'd even maybe put my name in the raffle. I can't remember. It's so funny. My goodness, the difference a year makes. Here I am, still watching the men's on TV, and I'm about to go to the women's. I'm about to go to the Women's Open. Oh, so exciting. But anyway, so this year was also really fun to watch, although in a different way, because basically, of course, Scottie Scheffler just, he was ahead. Not the first day. I can't remember how he ended, but he basically, just was ahead most of the time and never gave up his lead and just was dominating. And there's a reason he's number one in the world on the PGA Tour. And so it was really fun to see who, was going to get second place, third place, all of those. Again, Justin Rose was in it again. He had some wild golf. He shanked it twice. I can't remember if it was on Saturday. Must have been Saturday. He was afraid that he had hit a spectator. I think he ended up hitting the camera stand, the big stand, the scaffolding kind of stand where the cameras are. But he was basically in the rough, I don't know, 90% of his day on Saturday. Oh, it was crazy. And then, Bryson DeChambeau literally whiffed. It was too funny. It was too funny. Like he just swung and completely missed the ball, and this big pile of grass kind of flung up in the air, but no ball. He whiffed. I don't know. I've never seen that watching men's golf or women's golf. I haven't seen that watching professional golf. I don't know how often that happens. And of course, he was so mad. And then when he did actually hit the ball, it was just a sad, pitiful little kind of little plop. The ball just plopped a few feet and then rolled a few feet. And he got out of it with what, a double bogey? And the commentators were like, oh man, I can't believe I'm saying how great it is that he got out of this with the double bogey. I'm really impressed. But then he came back and he was, up there, and it was a fun tournament to watch. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler. So he has won his third out of his four for his Grand Slam of the major tournaments. So I think he's won two Masters. He now has won the Open, and then he won the PGA. I think he was, yeah. Did he win the PGA Championship, or did he win the? No, I think he won the PGA Championship. Anyway, so he just has one more, and then he will have earned his Grand Slam. So I fully expect him to do that. Oh, there was just lots of interest too with his press conference beforehand, and there's always fun golf drama going on, whether it's men's or women's. So yeah, I had to watch the PGA this last weekend, but this coming weekend, I'm very excited to watch the Scottish Open, and I hope you all are able to watch it too. But if not, I will hopefully be able to recap a little bit. My plan, though, is on Friday, I want to do at least a quick little podcast about the hero messages for the AIG Women's Open. I had mentioned this last time about this amazing thing that you can do where you can either send a written message or a little video message to your favorite LPGA player, and they will be played on screens there at the tournament for the players to actually watch. And then also, I think they'll be used on various social media for the AIG Women's Open. And I did investigate a little bit more. I haven't yet put one together or many, but I did learn a little bit more about them. And I did see that, yes, you can send multiple messages and you can send them to multiple players. That's a big relief. So I'm planning on putting together at least one, probably more, because again, I don't know who I would choose if I only sent one. And frankly, I'm just going to have to narrow it down because I can't be sending like 10 or 15 of these. I'm going to do more investigation and actually try to do one or more of these. And I will then let you all know exactly what to do and how it goes and what the process is. And I want to get that information out to you on Friday so that you have plenty of time to be uploading your own messages to your favorite players before the tournament. And then I am going to do kind of my deep dive on the AIG Women's Open on Monday. I'm going to release that this coming Monday because my travel day, very long day, starts on Tuesday. And so I'm leaving on Tuesday and I'll be arriving there in Wales on Wednesday morning. So I'll have a really long travel day. And basically, as soon as I get in on Wednesday morning, my plan is to go to the practice day on Wednesday. I have tickets for the practice day, and then the tournament starts on Thursday. So I'm going to try to get my kind of deep dive into the AIG Women's Open out to you all before my travel day starts. So I will have that out on Monday. And then while I'm there, I'm going to try to get as many updates to you all as possible and let you know how things are going there in Wales. I'm so excited. I haven't been to Wales, like I said. I'm really excited to go to Wales. I wish I had more time to travel around Wales because I think it's just, it looks like such a beautiful country. And I've been to England, several times. I've been to Scotland several times. I really feel like I need to get to know Wales. Anyway, I'll get to know this little area of Wales and I'll be reporting back. And yeah, I will talk with you soon and I just can't wait. We'll talk soon. And until then, bye.